It's 36 below, but the sun's out, so it's a nice day to go outside and have lunch. When it's this cold out, you don't take your gloves off for long. And you also don't sit on the ground because it is freezing. I don't have anything to sit on today. I'm gonna sit on this. You also don't film very long because your phone battery dies in like a couple of minutes. All right. I got a couple logs behind me. I got sticks in front of me. In Minnesota, there's a birch tree every, I don't know, 25 feet or something, so using birch bark is kind of a cheat, if you know what I mean. I got a piece of birch bark if it gets real bad, but I think I'll just use some of this old oak and try to light that up. Woofta. Some of this you can do with your gloves off, some of it you really can't. It's just too cold on your fingers. But I found some good stuff for feather sticks, and I got a little fire lay here that I'm going to use. Well, iPhones must have some sort of stupid auto off feature or something like that when it's that cold, because the whole last like 15 minutes of stuff trying to record didn't get saved. But got a fire started. I used just what I could find in the swamp to start it up, and so that was mostly tree bark and a little bit of some deadfall here that I'm sitting next to. So use that, got that started. Didn't cheat. It's cold out, but it's not that cold out. I can still mess around and have some fun. Yeah, now I'm gonna get some wood processed and make a little plank for my bowl to sit on and cook up lunch. It's about 27 below right now, so it warmed up quite a bit. Sun's out, feels great. So I don't need much. I just need enough to set my pot on something. And actually, this looks like a good test for the Kansbol. Let's see how I'm gonna make this work. There we go. So on a basically 30 below day, threw those knots just fine. Really wasn't too bad. Flip it around and try the other way. There we go. So basically I just wanted a handful of planks like this. And I set my pot a little bit more evenly on those. Kansbol handles that just fine. Not too difficult. Basically with this knife, what I've found is if it can span the log, it's probably not abusing it too much. I've seen some oak pieces that were just a little too twisty, some alum and stuff, but most of the time it looks like this can handle it just fine, even in 30 below. All right, so this is fun. It's so cold that everything keeps, my phone keeps turning off like 6 or 7 times, not recording anything or saving anything. I forgot my can opener. And my camera mount, the new one that I bought, I just broke. It's just too cold. What does that tell you? I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna use my Kansbol, I think, and open this can up, and then I probably won't have any battery left after this. I'll just have to enjoy my day without you guys. Let's see. I'll try to do this in a way so you can see without melting myself next to the fire. Let's see. Let's use this one. Usually once you get it started, it's not too hard just to give it a press around, leak some of that juice out. So if the screen randomly goes black, that's because it's the end of the video and my camera died. Nice thing about this Kansbol is how thin it is at the end. With a normal Scandi, I'd be doing a lot of edge damage by opening this can. I've just noticed that in the past. And I don't have to open it all the way. Just open it halfway. Like that. And there we go. The old sleeve clean. Today I'm using a Stanley because this thing cooks really fast. Without burning it most of the time. Alright. This is a nice thing to cook on top of, actually. Throw the lid on there. Well, I can't keep my phone alive for the life of me. It just keeps shutting off every couple seconds. But real quick, I thought I would address, somebody had commented in another video, how can you stand it when it's that cold out? Well, if I dress the way that some people do, I wouldn't be able to stand it. It wouldn't be good. I don't have probably great circulation, so I'm a little bit skinny and kind of tall. And my diet probably doesn't help. But anyways, first of all, I wear the right kind of gear. When it's 30 below out right now, it's actually getting colder for some reason in the middle of the day. When it's 30 below out, you don't go out with one jacket and one pair of pants and a pretty good pair of boots and a hat, If you're going to do something quick outside, of course that would be fine. But if you're going for a hike and you're actually doing something, I'll try to block this on here, you're actually doing something that is going to require some, travel or, I don't know, even moderate risk. I wear 2 jackets, and here's one of the keys, is I have a down jacket under this. It's only a 30-degree down jacket, and then I have a sweater under that. But I wear 2 jackets, and usually, actually, I'll have a parka over this. So there'd be 3 jackets. The parka's pretty thin, but it's a long jacket, and it blocks the wind from coming up my coats at all. I don't have to tuck in a shirt or anything. And layers is definitely the key. You're not going to get away with one really good jacket. You need layers. That's how they do it everywhere. That's how they do it in Antarctica. They may have a really heavy outside layer, but they have layers outside. And that's kind of one of the keys, is I'm wearing layers right now. The boots, I only have 1 pair of socks on. I let them be a little bit loose so that the heat can expand in there, and then they're capped on top. I tie them up tight. I have a good pair of outdoors pants on. They're actually just true spec pants, the 24/7 series, but they are pretty water repellent, and so that helps a lot. And then, soup's about done. On top of that, sometimes I'll bring a hand warmer out or something like that, just one, and that should usually be sufficient. I eat right. I'm eating soup. I'm not eating granola bars or cold food out here today. It just doesn't help your insides at all. It smells really good. Yeah, I always take the crappy soups with because I know it's going to seem really good when I'm out here. And so this one is like some healthy choice junk, something or other. So I always eat something good when I'm out here. But knowing when to take breaks and knowing when to stop is a big one. I've been out with people before who are kind of ready to go, but they didn't really know how to use their gear. They didn't know how to wear it right or use their knife and their fire steel right, and they didn't know how to take breaks. So they were way too cold already when they finally say it, started to say, man, my words are actually freezing in my mouth right now. They were way too cold to just say, hey, we need to stop now. Earlier on, they should have said something, and then they waited until they were just freezing cold. Their toes are frozen cold. Their fingers and their dexterity is gone. You haven't seen me take off my gloves a whole lot in these videos because I want my fingers to stay warm. And I'm next to a big long fire. It's a 5-foot long fire, a couple feet away. I step away from this, and these gloves are going to go on right away, basically, because you just have to have the right gear. You have to have the right layers. You have to know how to use it and take breaks. I could have kept walking today a couple miles further, but I noticed that my eyelids were freezing together. It's actually annoying me, so I stopped to make the fire and eat lunch here. So that's just my quick tip about that. So today I just had the Mora Kansbol. I had used my Silkysaw a little bit, just a little one, little PocketBoy. I really like that. Fits in the pocket. I had hardly any gear with me today. It was fantastic. I didn't take a pad to sit on or anything. Normally I do when it's really cold like this, but today I knew I could split some wood, sit on the wood. I never sit on the ground. That's another tip. I never sit on the ground. I always sit up on something and warm it up. And lastly, my trusty Stanley cooking pot. Usually I think people use this for coffee, but it's got a few indicators on there. It's real handy. It's a little bit deep for just one can of soup, but sometimes it can make two, one for myself, one for my wife or a buddy or something like that. And I really like this one. It's pretty thin-walled, but it cooks fast, and it's fairly even if you know what you're doing. So that's it. Guntote, Minnesota, thanks for coming out to the woods with me today, watching me freeze my butt off, except for I'm really not that cold. With this fire and you do it right, it's actually pretty enjoyable. It's just a really beautiful day out, and of course it's a day when nobody else is going to be out here. I like it.